I got the 60 Apache moved in last night. Ended up battling most of the day with the clutch. I had to rebuild the master cylinder for it, and then the clutch rod coming off the pedal was actually twisted on it, so the clutch pedal wouldn't engage the master cylinder until the clutch was almost pushed all the way to the floor, so I had to lengthen the push rod, and still wouldn't go into gear. So found out that the clutch was actually seized to the flywheel, so managed to get that freed up, and then yeah, this thing drove into the garage under its own power. Managed to blow out a brake line in the process, but I don't know, brakes aren't all that important, I guess. I may address that later. Plans for this truck, I guess, are to leave as much of the original tina on it as possible. I think it's mostly original paint on this thing, so it's pretty rare to find one of these that hasn't been painted or butchered or hacked or anything like that. So I think I might try and actually polish it up and see how much of this paint actually comes back. I did end up ordering cab corners and rocker panels for it, so I'll throw those on. I haven't been able to find fender bottom patches in Canada though, so what I think I'm going to end up doing is just making something for that. And got this little ding on the back fender here, so I might try to pop that out, clean it up a little bit. Bed's actually surprisingly straight. Front panel's kicked in a bit, and the tailgate's got some damage, but I'm not going to get too worried about that. Roof is actually really solid on this thing, so that's nice. I got one spot right here, so I'll have to patch that up. But yeah, it actually has floor pans in it, surprisingly. I got a couple patches in the corner there to put in. Same thing on this side, not quite as bad. But yeah, it's this thing is really untouched. You can see still the factory radio delete plate there, 3-speed on the column. If that'll lubricate it up and working properly now. It was seized when I got the truck, so this thing's sat in the field since 2006. But surprised it was on the road for that long, and really nobody's ever butchered it or anything. You know, most of these trucks are just so patched together. And yeah, somebody's recovered the seat, so that's nice. Those are the original seats, and pull that out right away and get started on the floors here. Windshield's not terrible. It's got one stone bruise right there, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Only really modern thing on it is the wiper blades. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about these stupid things they welded on here. If I leave it or cut it off and clean it up or what. It's a Saskatchewan farm truck. Might leave that dent. I think it adds character. This fender's pretty rough shape. It's pretty well gone all the way along here, so I don't know. I'll try to clean it up a bit, I guess. I'd like to kind of get some paint to match, blend it into the original paint when I do the rust repair on it. But yeah, overall really not a terrible truck. Yeah, cut this stupid bumper that's welded on off as well. These mashed my knees on that about 100 times. Okay, seats out. Sill panel off. So you got some extra rust there to deal with now. Yeah, so we're gonna start on patching this now. I was gonna build this floor with a recess in it, but this dimmer switch is complete garbage, and it looks like the only ones available actually bolt directly to the floor, and then the wiring harness comes out the top, which is probably better because this is just an area for dirt to collect. So yeah, I'll just put a flat piece in there and just get rid of that for now, I guess. Yeah, then we'll continue on and patch this here. And yeah, pretty simple job. I also wanted to mention for all those safety conscious people out there, we've disconnected and isolated our battery cables because we're going to be doing some welding, and we really don't want to fry the computer in this thing. So I need to remove the screws on the sill plate. So a little trick for that is you can take a small torch like this. You can use a big torch too, but I like this one because it's more accurate. And just heat up the head of the screw. Heat causes the metal to expand and break the rust. Give that a try. If I can do this with one hand. And there you go. Use this technique to remove even the rustiest screws without actually breaking them or stripping them out or whatever. It's kind of handy. So you just tear shit apart and cut and break everything on the way, and finally learned that the fastest way to do something is just take everything apart cleanly, take your time, and when you go to put it back together, then you don't have a huge mess on your hands. And there's all the screws out. Not a single one broken. And we didn't burn any of the coating on the sill plate. Let's see what kind of mess is under here. Huh? Doesn't look as bad as the other side. Ah, that's good. Should clean up nice. Okay, got the floors all patched up. Need to find some silver paint to match the factory paint there, but other than that, didn't get too carried away. It's just a floor, so same thing on the other side. No more holes. Be good enough for what we're doing, and rocker panels and cab corners actually came in today, so I am going to have to make a small piece there on the cab corner. I'll probably try to keep it as low as possible down here. I've also got a dent right here that I'm going to try to pop out, so I guess next we'll pop the door off and get started.